Oh yeah, look at that deck. As you can tell, I'm totally pro. As it turns out, I actually haven't touched Hearthstone in about 7 or 8 months, and I never really played much of it, never actually got too into it. So before playing today, I looked up some basic stuff. I looked up a couple easy decks to make, a couple things about mana curve, a couple things about value minions, and it turns out I couldn't actually make any of those decks. I couldn't actually construct a single one because I still haven't leveled any of my characters to max. So, I'm totally at a loss here. I can kind of sort of fudge something together, but I'm stuck when it comes to actually doing anything of real strategic value. But despite my best interest, I'm just like, you know what, let's go play a few games. And the game itself has no idea what to do with me. It's like, who the hell are you, and why are you playing this game if you have no cards? But it finds me someone. So here we go. This is the first game I've had in months. Back again. I'm level 4 or something. I don't even know.
Tear you apart.
I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I have a 2, a 3, and a 4. This is good. I have my spell with me in case I need to get rid of something. And bam. Yeah, that happens. So that wasn't really my first game back. But apparently I won, so okay. I'm not going to complain about that, I suppose. So going on, I've never once played rank, I've never once bothered with ladder. I have only done the first wing of Naxxramas, which for this one is the spider wing, arachnid wing, whatever you want to refer to it as. And I fire it up again, start spooling, trying to find me another person to fight against. I'm not feeling all that confident. My cards are kind of a hodgepodge, my methods maybe a bit lax. I've only watched a few videos of Hearthstone here and there over the couple months. Nothing big, nothing professional, just funny gimmick decks, silly things like that. So I'm constantly second guessing myself. I'm like, do I want this? No, I don't. Do I want that? No. Well, maybe I do. Etc. But then, once again, a 2, a 3, and a 2, a 2, and a 3 comes out, plus the coin, so I'm in a good spot. But he immediately throws this out at me. But I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. I can fireball it next turn. It's not a bad deal. No, it's fine. But then he doesn't like me very much. He hits me in the face for 2, and I'm like, that's fine. That's nothing. I'll just ping it next turn, and bam! His first turn in, and I'm hit for 7 damage. This puts me on the defensive, and I'm starting to panic a little bit. I'm like, oh crap, I've never been against this. I don't know what to do. I stick with the plan. I hit it with a little fireball, get rid of it. And then it's his turn again. I have nothing on the board, and I'm not really building up much of a presence. And bam, again with the damage to the face. After eating that arrow and being taken down to a lot lower than I'd appreciate on turn 3, I argue about whether or not to ping it or to throw something out there, but I think I should stay on curve, so that's what I decide to ultimately do. I throw out the 3 cost, don't mess with Tuskar, and out it goes. So my plan was to run the little boar, the 1/1, into his elven archer to get rid of it. He hits me in the face again. I'm getting way lower on health. I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, I've barely even touched this guy. I actually haven't hit him once. I don't even know what I'm talking about. He plays the Frostwolf Grunt with a shield and a taunt, and I'm like, alright, you know what? I can deal with this. I was originally wondering why the hell he was doing that, because I can run the 2/3 into it safely, and then clear out the rest of the board. But then he buffs it to an awkward number, just a little over it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to run my stuff into it. Here, you deal with it. You take a taunt. I'm going to pass the torch directly to you, and you can deal with this on your time, not mine. So it's a 4 cost out there, right on the mana curve, sticking with it, sticking with the plan, sticking with the strats, and I'm feeling okay. I'm not taking so much damage anymore, but at the same time, he keeps buffing this thing, making it stronger and stronger, and I'm just like, oh man, oh, what are you doing? Stop, please don't. Like, he could do anything he wants, that thing. He can, like, give it double health and match its health to its attack and all sorts of crazy priest nonsense. And I was like, you know what, fine, take that. You've spent so much on it, and it's basically value. 6 damage for 5, it's not bad at all. And I throw out a coin and an egg to set up something for later, because I know he might have some kind of AoE, and I know this board is just screaming to be bombed. So I put the egg out there because I want to incentivize him to do it, but I still want to have something else. That egg becomes a powerful creature if it gets hurt, but the egg itself can't attack. For now. So then he throws out a Gurubashi Berserker. Those things are scary. And I'm frightened. Then he runs the Raptor into my shield, which I wanted him to do. I was happy he did that. But I'm looking at this thing like, oh man, what am I gonna do? So I ultimately decide that it's time to hit the Shattered Sun Cleric and stick with the mana curve, get another 6 cost minion out there, something big, something scary, hit him in the face with the shield, the taunt creature, this engine, and then clear out that Shattered Sun because I want to force him to run his Berserker into my shield. That way it can't actually attack me, for now.
Someone injured?
Which gives him a nice little play coming up where, as I expected him to do, he's going to hit it and heal it, but he also draws a card, which I didn't quite see coming. But that's fine. Until he throws his own taunt. And now, I'm kind of nervous. The 6/5 there is no big deal. That's fine on its own. But I got scared. I'm just like, oh man, I don't want this on the field. I've already taken so much damage. I've taken so much harm, and I've barely even scratched the guy. So my decision, I decided to turn that big scary monster into a sheep. Meanwhile, Jane is thinking the same thing I am. What to do. I sheep the thing, and I send it out. And I just bulldoze his engine. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I decided to throw out the... Knowing that he doesn't really have much to throw on the board now, he only has 2 cards in his hand, I decided to draw some cards of my own. So we both have 2 minions on the field, he has 3 cards in his hand, and I have 6 in mine. Plus I'm going to draw 1 next turn. So it's good. I'm keeping a steady lead, I'm starting to gain the advantage, and I'm feeling like I want to press it. I'm feeling like I want to keep this going. He's probably feeling the way I was in the beginning, until he throws another one of those damned things out. And initially, I was going to ping it and smack it, but then something happened. See, I saw the Geomancer come out, and I was thinking I could maybe set up a spell power play. So I decide, since I haven't done much damage to him yet, and I'm still in kind of a tough spot, because this could easily swing right back around and hit me in the face, I decided to set up a couple moves that, if he does decide to hit anything on my field, my stuff would hit him right back and clear him out. So I throw out the Raptor that I just drew. I have a lot of damage on the field in the form of little tiny minions. I wanted to put an egg out in case he decides to Nova, but this, ultimately didn't have quite enough crystals for it. And then I hit him in the face with the Ogre. I told him, hey, this Ogre's a threat. You need to deal with this. If you don't deal with this, it's game over. So that's what he does. He decides to run all his stuff into it, exactly what I wanted him to do. Hits a bunch of stuff at it. Heals that thing one more time, as always. It's just what they do, as I expected them. And I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Because I can run 2 creatures into it for no problem at all. Until he does that. But still, it's the same situation. He has 2 cards, 2 minions, and I can still get rid of that big scary thing if I decide to. He heals himself instead of the Gurubashi, and I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I can ping the 2/1, and I can hit that thing out of the park, and all I gotta deal with is the Yeti. The Yeti's still scary. But then, I get a gleam in my eye, and I'm like, you know what? This is the time. This is the play, because I just drew anything that buffs all my creatures up. So I run that right into it. clearing that part of the board out, and then I decide, gonna throw the Stormwind Champion out there. This is gonna make it so that my little tiny gnome survives the hit, and I even get a 5/5 by destroying this egg. I was feeling really good, finally getting that Nerubar creature out there, Nerubian, whatever its actual name is. I ping, I smack, get that off the field, and my turn. So this is a really formidable board. Plus, he has a 3/1 that he has to deal with, and a 5/5, and a 6/6. He runs that into that as I wanted him to, fully expected. Then he throws that down, I'm like, oh, it's easy, until he does this again. And I'm like, aw. I just didn't want to see that. Now, in the recording, you can probably audibly hear me sigh as I'm like, what am I gonna do? So, I'm looking at this. I can't run both my creatures into his. It's crazy. So, in panic, I draw some cards, hoping to get something, and what do I see? Exactly the answer I need. So I freeze that, bypass it, hit him in the face with both my creatures, throw another egg out there, getting ready for next turn. And bam, bam, he has one card in his hand, he's about to draw another, and he has one creature on the board. I do some flooding, I get all the creatures out there that I can, trying to take full advantage of that Stormwind Champion. Now it's his turn. Now it's his decision. What is he gonna do? The answer? Well, not much. I still have lethal, either one, and he surrenders. Good game, friend. You really scared me in the beginning, but I'd like to turn it around. And now I actually get some decent cards, leveling up to a good enough point, seeing that I have some gold coming my way. Maybe enough to buy a pack, get Mirror Image, Mirror Entity, whatever the